Alright guys, so we have entered the fall movie season, and usually every single year at the start of the fall movie season, it's always the start of the Oscar season. You guys know what I'm talking about. All the big, heavy Oscar hitters start coming into the theaters, and a question a lot of people have been asking recently is Prisoners a possible Oscar contender? And my answer to that question is yes. Yes, it is. Hey there guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here with another movie review. Guys, I can't wait to start talking about this one. Oh man. Guys, in this video, I will be reviewing Prisoners. Prisoners is the new psychological thriller slash mystery starring Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. It's from director Dennis I don't know how to say his last name. I apologize for that, guys. But anyway, I was really looking forward to Prisoners, guys. Now, I know I say that in all of my movie reviews, but I do always anticipate the movies that I'm about to go see. And especially Prisoners, I was really looking forward to it. It was probably one of my most highly anticipated films of the fall. And one of the reasons is not only because the cast looked amazing, but what I was really looking forward to with this movie was finding out who is the kidnapper. If you guys have seen the trailer, you know that two young girls are kidnapped in this movie, and I was dying to know who is the kidnapper. It's one of those thrillers where you're just like, I have to go see this movie just to figure out who the kidnapper is, and that's one of the reasons why I went to go see Prisoners. But anyway, guys, as I already mentioned, Prisoners is a Oscar contender, so you guys can already guess what my feelings are for this movie. And yes, guys, I'm gonna admit it, I loved the hell out of Prisoners. This movie was fantastic. I'm already highly recommending that you guys go check out Prisoners. It was near flawless. I loved it. It is one of the best films I've seen all year so far. And it was just, it really blew me away. It really, really did. It's by far the best thriller I've seen all year in the theaters. Oh my goodness, guys. I highly recommend you guys go check out this movie. So guys, I want to get right into my review for the movie. And do not worry guys, I will not spoil the movie, the plot for the movie in any way. I never spoil my movies in my movie reviews. So I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. And another thing I wanted to quickly mention, a lot of people were wondering, oh, is Prisoners that type of movie where they spoiled the whole movie in the trailer? Some people thought everything was spoiled in the trailer. No, guys, do not worry about that. The trailer literally shows about the first 30 to 45 minutes of the movie. So do not worry about that. The trailer is not filled with spoilers, because there's really something else going on in this movie. So don't worry about the fact that the trailer spoiled some parts of the movie, because it really didn't. So you're safe for the trailer. But anyway, guys, let's start talking about the plot summary for this movie. And the movie begins on Thanksgiving Day. We have these two neighboring families. They get together for Thanksgiving dinner. We have Hugh Jackman. He's married to Maria Bello. They have a young teenage son and a very young daughter. They go over to Terrence Howard's house. He is married to Viola Davis. They have a teenage daughter, and they also have a young daughter. So the two young daughters, the young daughter of Hugh Jackman and the young daughter of Terrence Howard, they go over to Hugh Jackman's house for some reason, and during the Thanksgiving dinner, and they are both abducted by someone who we don't see. The audience does not see who abducts them. So obviously, the parents, Hugh Jackman, Terrence Howard, they're freaking out. They want to find their daughters. You know, days start passing and nobody knows who has the daughters, where they were taken. No one saw anything. We don't know. And Hugh Jackman, I mean, the parents are just losing it at this point. They are trying to find their daughters. Now, Jake Gyllenhaal plays the police detective that is assigned to this case. He literally almost goes to the end of the earth just to figure out who took these girls. And while Jake Gyllenhaal is investigating the case, Hugh Jackman feels that he must take matters into his own hands because days are going by. No one can find his daughter. So he literally goes off the deep end and does something so inhumane and so dark and disturbing just to find his daughter. And that's all I'm going to say about the movie, guys. Now, I know that some of you may have expected me to talk about a couple of other things with the movie, but I don't want to, because I will spoil some things, and I really don't want to, guys. I want to kind of be general with the plot. But believe me, there is something else going on in this movie. That is not the only thing going on in the movie, that plot that I just summed up. This movie was fantastic, guys. It was so well written. That's the first thing I have to praise this movie for, was its writing. This is a psychological thriller, and it definitely feels like a thriller because it definitely affected me, and it felt so freaking intense. It reminded me of the last episode of Breaking Bad. That is one of the most intense episodes of Breaking Bad I've ever watched. Episode 14, Ozymandias, Season 5. This movie was so freaking intense. Breaking Bad is one of the most intense things I've ever watched in my life. Prisoners was really intense, and it gave me those really thrilling and suspenseful feelings as I was watching the movie, and I loved this movie because of that. And the writing was just genius, guys. It really, really was. Now, the next thing, guys, I want to mention is the cast for the movie, because this movie has a really impressive cast. I have a lot of actors to discuss, but I'm going to really just talk about the two leading actors in this movie, Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. Let's talk about Hugh Jackman for a second. Let me just say this much. Hugh Jackman blew me away in this movie. He was fantastic. He was brilliant in this movie. Hugh Jackman gives an Oscar-worthy performance in this movie. That is how good he was. I will be really upset if he is snubbed at the Oscars this year. I really will. I didn't see his most recent film, Les Mis, which he got nominated for Best Actor for, but he better get nominated for this movie, or I'm going to be upset. He was brilliant. He gave an excellent performance. Richard Roper said he gave the best performance of his career. I completely agree. I mean, of course, that's Wolverine up on the screen, and he's freaking Wolverine. But, oh man, if you thought Wolverine was angry, he shows that anger in this movie for sure. And Hugh Jackman was brilliant, guys. I would love to see him get nominated for Best Actor. He was that good. I loved his character especially. That is another thing. The characters were so well written for this movie. His character especially. He plays a very religious character. You know, he's a family man. And when his daughter is taken, he just breaks down and does the most unthinkable, most inhumane thing ever possibly thought of. You know, he goes so far just to find his daughter, and it's so inhumane and so disturbing, and that's what he does, and I loved that with this movie. I loved how they made his character do that. Anyway, guys, Hugh Jackman was brilliant. I must talk about Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal was also very good in this movie. I love Jake Gyllenhaal in End of Watch. He was really good in this movie, as well as the police detective. I would maybe consider giving him maybe Best Supporting Actor worthy. Maybe he probably is. He really did a good job in this movie as well. Jake Gyllenhaal is a really solid actor. And the both of them in this movie were excellent, especially Hugh Jackman. Moving on, guys, the supporting cast was also very good in the movie. We have Terrence Howard, Viola Davis, Maria Bello, Melissa Leo, who I didn't know was going to be in the movie, and we also have Paul Dano. And they were all really, really good in the movie. But Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal blew me away, especially Hugh Jackman. Moving on, guys, the next thing I really want to discuss is the movie's rating. Prisoners is rated R. And it's very appropriately rated. I would not have given this movie a PG-13 rating at all. I mean, yes, it's very violent, and it has a lot of bad language in it, and there are a lot of really messed up things that happen in this movie. But I think another reason why it was given such a high rating, it was given an R rating, is because it is very disturbing, and it's very messed up. When I mean very messed up, it is very messed up in terms of, like, morals. You know, it really, really is. So definitely suits, the R rating definitely suits this movie, and, oh man, that's what I loved about this movie. I mean, just wait till you watch the movie. You just gotta watch the movie and you'll know what I'm talking about, guys. So anyway, I think it's time for me to give my rating for the movie, guys. I'm going to talk about every single thing that I liked in regards for the movie. Now, I usually talk about all the complaints I have for a movie after I watch a movie. I had no complaints for Prisoners. That's how good Prisoners was. Like I said, guys, it's one of the best movies I've seen all year. And because of that, I have no complaints with it at all. I had nothing wrong with this movie. I really, really didn't. So, guys, my rating for Prisoners. As I was watching the movie, one specific part of this movie happened, and I'm like, I gotta give this movie my highest rating. But then, by the end, I said, oh, you know what, this movie was that good, but I'm just not feeling it. So in the end, guys, I'm gonna give Prisoners a 9.5 out of 10. A lot of you are going to be wondering, why didn't you just go all the way? Why didn't you give this movie a 10? I almost did. But it was a near flawless film. It probably was flawless, but I just didn't feel like giving it a 10. I don't know what it is, but it still is good. I'm giving it my highest recommendation here, guys. It is that good of a movie. 9.5 out of 10 is a pretty damn good rating. And like I said, it's one of the best movies I've seen all year. And for sure, it should be an Oscar contender. So guys, as I said, get into the things I liked about the movie. I already mentioned the story. The story writing was brilliant. It was intense. It was thrilling. It was suspenseful. It was emotional. It was disturbing. And that's what I loved about this movie. When you have a movie with a story that is so well written like Prisoners, it has that type of story where it just really hits you hard emotionally. Not in the fact that it made me cry, but it hit me hard and I started feeling certain emotions like, I started feeling suspense. I started feeling really sad in a couple parts. I felt the movie was disturbing. It was really messed up in a couple parts. And I love that with this movie. That's why I gave this movie such a high rating. Because of the way it made me feel. And the story writing was genius. The movie should definitely it should get a screenplay nomination. I think it's original screenplay. It should get an original screenplay nomination for sure. Moving on, guys. The cast, as I said, Hugh Jackman, honestly, the best actor for this movie, even though Jake Gyllenhaal was amazing. Hugh Jackman gives the best performance for this movie that is definitely Oscar-worthy. He just really blew me away. And Jake Gyllenhaal as well. He's also Oscar-worthy for this film. They both gave amazing performances, and I would really love to see them both get nominated, especially Hugh Jackman. Supporting cast was really good as well. The movie was very well directed. It was very well filmed. Let me talk about the cinematography. The cinematography was gorgeous, guys. There's this one shot. Gyllenhaal is driving off into the night. He's racing down this really crowded street. You got the street lights on. It's snowing out, and that scene was just so well set up. It was so well shot. I mean, that scene really blew me away. Cinematography was beautiful. The movie's editing the movie was very well edited. This movie is very, very long. It's like 2 hours and 20-something minutes, and it doesn't feel like, a very, very long movie because of the editing. It didn't feel boring. It didn't feel slow. I was on the edge of my seat from beginning to end, and that's why Prisoners succeeds as a thriller, even though it's so long. I mean, it really was that good, and it really was that engaging and entertaining. The movie's score was also very well done. It's dark and depressing. It so well fit this movie. And a couple of other things, the ending. Okay, a lot of people in my audience were upset with the ending. They were like, oh man, they were sucking their teeth and they were so upset with it. I understand why some people were upset with the ending. It ended on a note where some people were like, oh, how could you do that to that character? Why did you end it like that? Oh man, it ends on that way where you don't know what happens in that sort of way. So, but that didn't bother me. The ending did not bother me. I liked it. You know what? I enjoyed what was going on in the movie, and I liked it for the most part. So that was great. I really enjoyed the ending. And as I said, guys, the best part of this movie was not only the fact that it was so intense and suspenseful, because it is definitely a thriller, and a really good psychological thriller, but it was just so entertaining, so engaging, and it really affected me, and that's why I loved Prisoners. I have no complaints for this movie. I just have one plot point that I'm just trying to connect to the rest of the movie, but other than that, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I really, really enjoyed it. I give it one of my highest recommendations, a 9.5 out of 10. I highly recommend you guys go see it. It is such a great psychological thriller, and I loved almost every single second of it. Oh, you know what? I did love every single second of it. So thank you guys so much for watching. 9.5 out of 10. I highly, highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite films of the year. It is definitely it should be an Oscar contender. I'll be really upset if it doesn't get nominated for anything. And I recommend you guys go see it. It's definitely a must-buy for me on Blu-ray. I can't wait to pick this movie up on Blu-ray. And I love the whole movie, guys. So thank you so much for watching. And if you did see Prisoners, let me know down below, guys. What did you think of the movie? Did you think it was intense? Did you love it? Is it one of the best movies of the year? I think it was. And also, what did you think of the ending? Did the ending piss you off, or was it suiting? Did you like the ending? Let me know, guys, down below what you thought about all of that. And let me know what you thought about Hugh Jackman's character as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed Prisoners. Hope you enjoyed my review. Bye, guys.